Hey everybody, a little announcement about part 2 of the episode that aired. Unfortunately, we lost that audio. I say we, I'm the only one running this ship. But the audio was beyond repair, unfortunately, and we lost some due to some equipment failure and some other things. So we're not going to do the second part of the episode, but I do still want to announce to you something exciting. We have hats. I don't know, I feel like I didn't say that with enough inflection, but I also maybe should say are going to have hats. They are not manufactured yet, but the order has been placed. So if you're interested in getting a hat, reach out to me. We're gonna set something up on the website. If you go to vivugalde.com/the Mixtape Podcast, there's gonna be a little form on there. You can see what the hats look like. They're gonna be one size fits all. It's gonna be an embroidered logo of the podcast, and my website and everything else has the same branding. So if you want a cool little cartoon of me with headphones on, this is the hat for you. That's the big news. I also just wanted to announce we are going to have some things coming up the pipe in the next couple of years. We're on side B already, so that means we only have 2 sides left, C and D. And we're going to try and do a couple of live streams maybe. Some just sort of exciting personal news related to music. I got Oasis tickets for the US tour, so there might be an Oasis special maybe. We're gonna see if we can maybe work that out, and we're gonna just kind of like experiment, see what everybody's looking for when we have 2 more sides to go. So stick around. I'll update everyone when the hats are officially out and ready to go, but the form on the website will also be updated. So just again, check in on vivugalde.com/the Mixtape Podcast, and it'll let you know if the hats are ready, if you want to put in a pre-order, if you have any questions about the hats or anything else on the website, you can fill out that form. And this is just going to be a nice little sort of fun episode. I think everyone's gonna have a really good time listening to this one. So we're gonna get into the episode right now, and thanks everybody for listening. Enjoy the episode.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We are in episode 4 of the Mixtape Podcast, and we are welcoming my cousin, who is also the karaoke master, the photographer, and the real true comedian in the family tree. Please welcome Lysana.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lysana is here. I may be the one who does stand up, but I feel like there's people in our family that are a lot funnier than me. And I feel like we've talked about this before, where it's like we have this huge family. So at family parties, we're like, I'll just be quiet. But then when we're in our group of friends, they're like, you're just like, you're just like in the mix. And we're like, no, it's just because we're not the ones in the mix in the other group.
Yeah. I think we have some quiet comedians.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I would say like our cousin Taylor.
Oh,
so funny.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Like dangerously funny. Should have done this instead of me kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, yes, of course.
He's like, no, I'll leave it to this.
Tell him not, because his head's going to get even bigger. So
should we just call him now? Be like, hey, you want to join in on this real quick last minute? Yeah. I know you're probably out in the middle of the ocean somewhere, but you want to get in on this?
Deep down into the ocean,
Yeah. Just patch in the earbuds in the helmet and do it underwater.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be fun. I should ask. I don't know why I haven't asked him. He would be a great person for this. I don't know why I never thought of that.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. Or, you know what? A good duo podcast, get him and Martin, get his dad on there too. Those two, I would never have to talk. Those two, I could leave and they wouldn't even know.
Dude, talk about comedy movies. and just allow
Oh,
freaking, you know, Jim
so I
Carrey, Austin Powers, like, and it would go on for hours, hours. They would just
which
repeat like quotes from the movies and just continuous roll it through. Yeah.
which is great because we're all like we're all nerds, but they're both the nerdiest of us in terms of the memory of the bit. And
Yeah.
so it makes me seem like I'm normal. And then when I'm around other people, they're like, not everyone is good at this. And I'm like, you should meet some other people I know.
Might be related, but
Yeah. Hmm. Might be
no.
like, I don't know, DNA or something. Yeah, yeah. So we did talk a little bit before we recorded, and I was mentioning how like you and my brother's episode who's already been released and other family members who've done this. I know like we're literally blood related. I've known you obviously. I don't know what your first concert was though. I don't think we've ever actually talked about it, which is crazy. It's just like a thing that never comes up, you know?
And yeah, it's not a topic that's just like, hey, what was your favorite concert? No,
Right.
or first concert.
Yeah.
Um, my first concert was Matchbox 20.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Right? Okay, wait till you hear this. It was at the outdoor arena. Well, now the GSR, but it was the
Oh,
Hilton.
yes.
Right? I was like 10, maybe. We were 5 feet from the stage. Right?
I
My
love this.
dad took all four of us girls, right?
Yeah.
And just like trained beat lung to the front of the freaking
Yeah.
stage.
Come with me. Yeah.
Paula Cole opened for them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was really cool. Outdoor. And that was their first album. So it was their first tour.
Oh my God. So
Yeah,
you got in at the front. You were like,
right there.
I'm here for these people.
Yeah. Oh God. And we loved them, right? We listened to their whole CD before we got to the thing, right? And then we would listen, and then we got into the truck and we would listen to the CD all the way home. And we
Yeah,
listened,
of course.
right? So then we had the whole, 45 minutes ish
Right.
to listen to the whole CD again after we just heard it. So yeah.
You know what though? That's kind of my favorite part of going to a concert is listening to the songs on the way there and being like, which ones do you think they're gonna play? And then as if you literally haven't just heard the whole set list, you're like, do it again.
One more time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. No. It's like you never get old. It doesn't, especially when it's like really good music. Ones that you're
I
really into.
Yeah, I was really excited that they kind of had a comeback when Barbie came out and they used that song for like the scene of all like the guitar dudes.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is the song that guitar guys play because there's so many you could pick from that.
Oh yeah.
And I
Uh-huh.
remember seeing the movie in the theater with some friends of mine when it came out, and the Matchbox 20 song started, and I was like, oh my God, what a great choice. And then I started to like re-listen to Matchbox 20 because I was like, remember them? They were so good.
Oh man. All of their CDs.
Oh,
Hooked all of their CDs. Like even Rob Thomas when he went out on his own.
yeah.
Just phenomenal. I was a very big fan of Matchbox 20. Still am. Like they're like on my shuffle, on my
Yeah.
playlist, on my
Oh
Apple
man.
Music.
They're one of those groups for me that I should listen to more. Like I like them. There's no reason not to. But I
Right.
just kind of like get sidetracked with other groups. And then when a song comes back from like a playlist you're listening or the radio or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta listen to all their stuff now.
That's with a lot of artists, though. You feel like you like hyper focus on one, and then you go and you hear
Mm,
like outside music, another band, and you're like, oh shit, I forgot they're really good. Yeah.
yeah. Like I almost do that with whole genres too. Like right now, for some reason, I'm in some sort of like nostalgia country mix
Are you
music.
like
I don't
old
know why.
school country?
Yeah, I would say. Well, so here's the thing, which perfect tie into the previous episode here. We talked about being raised with multiple generations of family members who would just play music around the house or whatever. So
Mhm.
when I would spend summers with our grandma, she would play 40s and 50s country. My
Mhm.
parents would play 60s to 90s country. And then when I was growing up, you would just hear it in the car, whatever was coming out at the time. So like for some reason I have this like nostalgia itch of like 50s to 90s country and I don't know why. Which
That's
is
why
like
you explained it. That is why.
it's too big of a span. It's too big. And that's so many different like types of country too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not like we're talking all the same song over and over again.
No. When I refer to old school country, I mean like 90s.
I had this. Okay, so this is also going to be, this is all, you have set up beautiful segues for me here. So when we talked before we started recording, we talked about how many songs you had, if we were going to have a bonus track, all this stuff. And Lysana has brought a bit of a fun little challenge for me on the episode. So is it some or all of the songs?
Oh, my dear, it is all.
Okay, all of the songs. I'm getting nervous. All of the songs are gonna be from a movie, and she is requiring me to guess what movie they're from. We've talked in previous episodes how I will watch a TV show or a movie with a friend or my roommate or whatever, and I'll hear the actor's voice barely and be like, that's so and so, whatever. Last night, I had a party at my house. We had some work friends over. We all work in the entertainment industry, right? So, of course, we played Seen It for some reason. I don't know why we did, but we did. And I was like kind of controlling the game a little bit because now it's like not really a board game anymore. Now it's all like an app that you put on your TV kind of thing. And I was like not really paying attention to the movies because I'm controlling the game. And so each team kind of had like a ringer to make it even, you know? And as I'm playing, the one that I got milliseconds after the clip played, didn't even ask the question yet. It showed like a millisecond of Beverly Hills Cop. And I was like, that's Beverly Hills Cop. And they were like, that's not even what they're asking. And then it was like the scene was like of the villain when you first meet the villain in the movie. And so one of the people from my team was like, first of all, how do you even know it's that from not the most famous actor in it? It's just some random guy in a robe. And I was like, I got the double feature DVD, man. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
I've seen it once and then I'm good. It's like one of those.
Exactly. So this will be a very interesting challenge. And also like we both, like you said, grew up very big movie buffs. Whole family's very big movie buffs. I would say very specifically like a span of time of movie buffs to very specifically comedy movie buffs.
Yeah.
So like this is all going to be very interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
I just felt like this was going to be a really fun episode because we are both the youngest in our families. So even though we're not the same age, we're kind of the people who would like somehow group together at the family parties. Like all the youngest always somehow coalesce.
Oh yeah.
And so
families are so big. Our family is.
Oh my God. Our family is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to go in these little groups because it's like you'd have no. Okay, we heard Grandma. We heard the story multiple times. Okay, we're gonna walk over to the aunts and uncles. When I tell people how big our family is, I was like, this is true. Okay, let's put it
in wedding
perspective. It's like 50 people.
Yeah, just the immediate family. Yeah. I just went to one of our episodes, Danielle Brown. I went to her wedding last weekend, and she had like 100 and some people at her wedding, and I was like, oh, this is so like nice. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, this is like a third of the people who went to like my grandpa's funeral. Like, this is not big.
Yeah. I think Carmela, which is the first grandchild.
Oh, her wedding was huge.
Like, I want to say it was like 500 people. It was ridiculously big.
Her wedding was huge.
400 of those were our family.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's not even friends included. It's just us.
It was massive. Yeah, massive family. And it was just a wide range of tastes. Like,
Yeah.
so because your dad is the youngest,
Mm-hmm.
the siblings, right? My mom is
Mm-hmm.
the second oldest out of our family, right? Which is very funny that you're the youngest. Your dad was the youngest out of six kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, his taste was always country. But like if you ever
Yeah.
listen to like Aunt Ariane or Aunt Vivian and
Yeah.
talk about like music, it's always the Beatles. It's the Beatles and it's Herman Hermits and it's
Yeah. Yeah.
always these old school rock, but like mainstream rock. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
it's very funny to hear because I think even Uncle Martin and Uncle Mark also
Yeah.
have very different styles of
Yeah. This is just gonna turn into us being like, this happens to you too. This is just like a therapy session now. But I
like,
feel like when people are like very confused about why I know things
yeah,
before my generation.
yeah,
Like, first of all, me and my brother are 9 years apart, right? So
yeah,
there's like, I got the stuff that he was raised on just because he was in the same house, right? So that's already 10 years before me. Then, because my dad is the youngest of the six, he got a bunch of his stuff from his siblings that's
yeah.
older than him that he then gave to us. So, like, I've got this, like, whole, like, other generation of stuff that nobody else would, like, it just got, like, hand me downs, essentially. Like he got stuff from Ariana, Elisa, whatever, and he was like, "Okay, this is the music I know, but it wasn't from me, and then I'll give it to you." And so now you know it. Don't know when you'll ever need it, but you know it.
This, very, very true. And then, yeah, you're right, because it is very wide range of knowledge of
Yeah.
entertainment, music, movies, whatever you want to jump into. And it is just crazy the difference. It really,
Yeah.
it really is because
All this could just be boiled down to us saying our family's a bunch of like cultured nerds. That's really what this is. They're just a bunch of culture nerds. They know the movies, they know the music, they know the TV shows, the theme songs to the TV shows. I didn't know that was a thing until they were talking about them. And then I was like, well, I guess we know these.
I guess this is part of what we know now.
Yep.
That, yeah. Mhm.
So, okay, we're going to do this first song. And I'm nervous that you're challenging me on my own turf. So this will be a nice little
Okay, so they're some are easy. Okay.
okay.
One or maybe one-ish, maybe two hard ones. But it's also like because I know I'm a very big movie buff. I know you enjoy yourself some movies, and we both very much like music. So I was
Yeah.
like, some of them kind of go in hand, like where our family grew up and where you grew up, and then
Okay.
like movies I loved when I was growing up, which
Yeah.
um,
I mean, it is interesting that like we would have a lot of family parties that would kind of just end up with us all in a room watching a movie together. Like that was like the come down to the party was like everyone drank, everyone ate, everyone played spoons, whatever. And then by some point in the night, we all just kind of migrated to the television. And I remember watching a movie. There was like 50 people. We were all just like watching a movie in a room. And I was like, yeah, this is not abnormal. This is the size of a small movie theater group of people, but let's all watch it in this living room with a 40-inch television.
Was that Christmas Vacation?
I mean, multiple times. We've definitely done Christmas Vacation at your house multiple times.
Yeah.
We've done there was that one time we did Elf at the cabin. And that room is already small, so then it was just like a huge group of people. And that it was like fresh from when that movie came out. So people had seen it, but it wasn't like a commonality as much. And that scene in the movie when he eats the spaghetti and drinks the Coke and then has that longest burp, our whole family tree just loves a good fart joke, loves a good poop joke, puke joke, anything like middle school potty joke stuff. That I've and all other thing too, all of our family are the loudest laughers. We cannot help it. I'm a loud laugher. We're all loud laughers.
Oh boy.
So 50 of us in a room watching him burp for a minute uninterrupted. That room was shaking. People were laughing.
It's so small.
It was so small. People were laying on the floor. People were laying on or sitting on that little like banister thing behind the couch. Oh my God. That was intense. It was great.
Yeah, that was an experience.
I hardly remember anything else from that trip, but I very vividly remember that.
You don't remember the caviar?
I remember the like seafood smorgasbord, and I remember the elf burpings. That's like the two things I remember. Everything else, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think that's about the knowledge.
The priorities, the food in the movie. That's what we remember. My
brain memory banks. Yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, that was wow.
Yeah.
Why did you bring that one up? That's some kind of memory.
I know, right? I think I just remember watching everyone be the loudest laugher, and I was like, we're clearly related. These are my people.
Oh, yeah. Do not go to the movies with our parents.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Holy. I thought I was loud, and I do. I have a very loud laugh. It's very loud. I have also a very loud sneeze. That is also very.
Oh, yeah. That's all of us, too. Yeah. I know. Okay, so I just saw you recently, obviously, in town. So I'm pretty sure we just talked about this story. But for the people listening, I went to a movie once with our Aunt Ariane. And we went to a movie theater. She wanted to watch some very serious, dramatic movie. And we got to the theater and it wasn't showing. She was like really mad about it. And I was like, you know what? Like, we're already here. Let's just pick another one and watch whatever. And so that was at the time when Monuments Men came out, that George Clooney, like Bill Murray, John Goodman movie.
Great movie. Love it.
Great movie. I had never heard of it before we were at the theater, so I didn't know anything about it. But we get the tickets, and I see on the like marquee of the movie that Bill Murray's in it, so I just assumed it was a comedy, and I was like, oh, we're going to be the loudest people in this theater. Like, I started getting like I was like, we're going to be so embarrassing. This is going to be horrible. And we get into the theater, and there's like one old guy in the very front row, and the rest of the theater's empty. And I was like, thank God. Bullet dodged. Everything's fine.
Yeah, just one person. We're good. We're in the clear.
I've never, our family, we do silly things in public for sure. I've never truly, been, deathly embarrassed before. That was the first time I was so nervous to be in public. I was like, we're going to laugh so loud.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Boy, we could go on and on. We
really could. This has just become a therapy session. We're just going to send this to the rest of the cousins and be like, if anybody needs to heal, listen to this.
And listen. Watch and listen. Because you'll get a kick out of it.
It's going to help you with some stuff, we promise.
You're going to process some stuff. You're going to let some stuff go. You're going to be just fine.
Unlock some memories maybe you forgot about.
Yeah, we also talk with our hands a lot. I don't know if you've realized that when you are videoing.
We do that. That's gonna just be a lot of us just covering our faces.
Yep. Well, anyways, anywho, let's get back.
Okay. Let's get into the first song. Let's do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So think about where you grew up. Okay. Danger Zone.
Oh, Top Gun. We're starting beginner level. Okay. I'm getting comfortable. Okay.
I had to,
it's a good song.
It was part of it was filmed. Both movies were partially filmed in Fallon, Nevada, which is kind of cool to see because we're a very small, kind of podunky area.
That was a very nice way to say that. Yeah.
Yes, I tried so hard.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we got to open up.
Yeah. Okay. So then here's a good question, I guess. Is it the first one because it's the easiest one? Is that why you opened it with that? Yeah. Oh, that makes me scared. I will say though,
These on the first try, I swear, I'm on what shit.
I
Then
was
I'm
gonna say,
mission to find harder ones.
do I need to like play it cool and be like, I wonder what it is?
No,
I
you
here
just do what you want. Do what feels right for you.
feels right. Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. First of all, great song choice. Every time you hear it, it's a great, just like immediate, like 0 to 100 energy level for sure.
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins in general. I mean, you have this movie. You have, I would say, big in our family, Caddyshack. I'm all right for sure. It's like maybe tied with Danger Zone, depending on how you scouted the family. I feel like that poll might come in real close. You know what I mean?
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
It's on multiple levels.
Hits on multiple levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the song is used in a lot of other things as like bits. Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Like I think like I do definitely think of Top Gun when I hear the song, but I also think of like, they use it in Family Guy or they use it in like whatever. Like they'll use it in whatever's like a Top Gun bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very commonly used song in multiple shows, movies, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's another, okay, I think we maybe have talked about this before on other episodes, but maybe not. For anyone who listens, I am the only person on this team. I do the research on the song release as we're recording because I don't know the songs ahead of time, right?
Sure.
So I'm looking up this song to get the release date so we can give some information about it before we play sample. The first question of the people also ask on Google says, what movie made Danger Zone famous? Which hurts me a little.
Does it?
Yeah.
Wait, which one is it?
It's Top Gun is the movie that made Danger Zone famous. But it's crazy to me that people know the song without knowing the movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in a lot of different things, but it also was played on the radio a lot, and I bet you people nowadays.
Yeah. I just feel like there's certain songs that even if you haven't seen the movie, you know the song from the movie. Like if you've never seen Top Gun, you're like, I know that's from Top Gun. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of people that don't. Our brains don't work the same
like everyone else's.
No, seriously, a song plays, and I first relate it to a movie. I don't relate it to anything else, and not a lot of people do that.
I get roasted by my roommate about this all the time. We listen to music in the car or whatever, phone, radio, whatever, doesn't matter where it's from. If a song plays, making dinner in the kitchen, whatever, and I go, what is this from? And she's like, literally no idea. And I'm like, it's in that one scene in this movie. And she's like, how do you just know? And I'm like, I can see the scene in my head. I don't know what to tell you. And then there's some songs where there's like two big movies that they're from. And so when I'm like, which one is this from? And she'll get one of them and I'll be like, but that's not the one I was going to say.
Pick the other one. That's the one. Yeah, same. And my sisters are not at all. So I'd be like, guys, you remember this song? What movie is this from? Hurry, name it. And they have no fucking clue. Sorry, I heard.
So I thought it was normal until I met people outside of our family.
Yep.
Now you're telling me it's not even normal for people inside our family? This is not the gene of the whole tree. This is just you, me, and a handful of others.
This is true.
No.
If you were to ask my sisters after listening to Danger Zone, right? They were like, what are you talking about? What?
Really?
Who does this? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
They're the ones that ask me, like, what movie is this song in? So they'll come and ask me. But
like you're a human researcher. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
Wow. I mean, I do like the first song. This is great both for mixtape and movie. So maybe we'll do a couple little like you should watch these movies and listen to these songs. I'm here for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to do both together. While you're watching Top Gun, put Danger Zone on the speaker.
Yeah.
So Danger Zone, obviously for the film, released in 1986. It was recorded in 1986 as well, and I'm pretty sure, but we're gonna double check that it was released because now it's a little different. Modern times, they try to release the single of the movie prior to the movie release to sort of like advertise.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not here for that.
So the
Okay.
Top Gun film was also released in 1986. So that
Oh,
means they came out at the same time. So you had to see the movie to get the song.
yeah. Yeah.
Just
And
saying, maybe we go back. Maybe we go
people
back.
Googled what movie made the song famous.
Just saying. Okay, so I'm so interested to know what the other three are going to be. Okay, so we're going to play a little sample here of Danger Zone, again, released in 1986. We'll play a little bit of that here. Okay, again, that was Top Gun, or I guess was the movie, I should say. If we're gonna tell people to do both, Top Gun was the movie. Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins was the song. Watch/listen to all wherever you get your movies/music. Probably Apple. They're the only ones that have both, right? Or Amazon, I guess.
I'll do Apple.
Apple, yeah, we're Apple people here.
Choice, yeah.
They're for sure not going to send any money, but Apple.
Yeah, not sponsored, but we love Apple. Yeah.
Yeah, send me a new phone sometime, please.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Okay, so let's get into song 2 because now I'm nervous if it's going to get significantly more difficult or not. So just go get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it. Just do it.
One of my all-time favorite movies that I really hope that you get this, but it might be difficult. The song is called Now and Forever, but it's by Carole King.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Now and Forever by Carole King. Now here's a sticky situation we've come into your episode with this game.
Yeah.
Is depending on the song, I'm sure I know it, but do I remember what it sounds like? So you may be someone where we're going to have to play the information and then actually play the song before we do the movie guess. Because I mean, Carole King, I feel like I for sure know it, but let's see.
I think she remade it. I don't think she's the original singer of the song, but she did it for this movie.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's do this. Let's play a little bit just to see if I know the song.
Okay.
Very, very like, now and forever. I'm so nervous I'm going to get this wrong because you said it's your favorite movie. No pressure.
It's one of.
Oh, no. I mean, the song sounds familiar for sure. It's not the most famous Carole King, I would say. If somebody says I listen to Carole King and they listen to like her top 5 songs, this is not going to be one of them.
To be honest, I had no idea that this was actually Carole King that sang it. Until I was choosing the songs. I was like, oh no shit.
No way. Yeah. Okay. I'm very nervous that I'm not gonna know.
You want a little hint?
Okay, well, so let's start here. Now and Forever by Carole King, because you are correct. She's not the original artist. This is like a cover, essentially. Yeah. So her version was released in 1992 on the album Color of Your Dreams. Now, does that mean That's the name of the movie. Is she doing the whole soundtrack? I'm gonna
Nope.
guess no. Okay. It makes me nervous that that might be, but it's not.
Okay.
So
A hint? I'll give you a hint.
let's do a hint. Let's do a hint.
Okay, it's a sports movie.
Ooh.
In the 90s.
Okay. I know it's not this, but I'm gonna say this answer as just to get the joke out of the way. I
Yeah.
want to say Airbud. I know it's not Airbud, but you said sports movie in the 90s. We just had to get it out of there.
In any way, shape, or form.
A dog that can play basketball. Sports movie in the 90s, done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another hint?
Sports movie in the 90s. Wait.
Okay,
Sports
okay.
movie in the 90s. I'm gonna say oh. Wait a minute. Is it A League of Their Own? Yes. I for sure remember the song now. I also didn't know that was Carole King though. But now that I hear it, totally makes sense.
Totally.
Okay. Here's another deep cut memory that we're gonna nerd out a little bit. I remember staying at your mom's house and she had the VHS of this movie
Still have it.
on her bookshelf. And I was like, what a great movie to have a copy of.
You wanna
I
know
don't
why?
think I ever watched it, but I had it.
We watched it so much. It was like one of the regularly like VHS movies that we watched continuously because I loved League of Their Own. Like even before every softball game that I played, I would watch a League of Their Own.
That was like your a superstition ritual. Some people say don't step on the chalk line. Some people say, you know, you gotta put your glove in the dirt a little bit. You were like, no, I'm gonna watch a 2-hour movie before every game.
Yeah. And then constantly repeat, you know, there's no crying in baseball.
Oh,
So
I mean,
you got to.
if you're gonna repeat any line from that movie, it's gotta be the main one.
Oh yeah.
Who else is gonna know the other lines other than apparently 12 of us that are all related to each other? Oh man. You know what's crazy about that movie too? I grew up like I saw that movie. That was one of those movies that was like on TNT every weekend or something. You know what I mean? All the time.
Early 90s, super popular. Madonna was in it.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. When I was a kid watching this movie, could tell who Tom Hanks was, could tell who Gina Davis was, had no idea what past Madonna looked like. In my head, I was thinking modern day Madonna. And so every time watching that as a kid, I was like, okay, this random actress lady I've never seen in any other movies. And then as I grew up and like saw album covers and like, you know, vinyl covers, whatever, and I saw Madonna from like the 80s and I was like, that's the girl, that's the same girl.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm pretty sure she's like one of the first original artists that reinvented like herself continuously by the looks that she came out with. Like every album
Totally.
before Lady Gaga came around,
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yeah.
First famous woman artist to do that, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But from me growing up, she was the original. She was the 100% the one that introduced the, you know, every album was something completely different in ways, right?
And we've talked about this on other episodes before, but I love a good female artist that has like a male band. I just like that dynamic for some reason. So like in previous episodes, we've talked about Blondie. Madonna's another great example of that. Had great like male vocals, male band, you know, modern day, I would say Miley Cyrus is another great example. Just like there's nothing like it's not an image thing. It's not like I want to have an all male band because I'm a lead female. It's just those are the people they pick for their band. But there's something about it that just like works so well. Joan Jett's another great one. Like something about the female with the male band. I'm just like, ooh, you know, like
I mean,
yeah, Pat Benatar. Yeah, totally.
Well,
totally.
Right.
Yeah. We're just going to say.
Oh, Annie Lennox and what is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yes. Sweet Dreams. That song came back. Everyone's into that song now. That's what it was. I kept wanting to say The Pretenders. I knew it wasn't that, but I kept wanting to say that for some reason, and I was like, no, that's the very wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another example actually of this song being released with the film. So both the film and the song were both released in 1992. That's an interesting thing in terms of like the music business that she released a whole album separate from the movie. It wasn't a soundtrack to the movie. It was the separate album, but the single was released the same. The whole album was. So what an interesting change that now we're going to give you the whole album months before the movie comes out.
Yeah. I mean, a huge shift.
Yeah.
Because I want to say that only started happening in the last less than 10 years. So at least 5-ish, maybe a little bit more.
I would say the most obvious example of this, I guess you could say obvious, is we talked about this movie before, but is the Barbie movie. I remember that album coming out like a month before the movie came out. And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Everyone was excited because Nicki Minaj was on it and Dua Lipa was on it and like all Lizzo was on it, and they went and watched the movie. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. But I am curious why we've made that shift to like listen to the music first.
Well, I feel like music has become more the center in this generation or this time, right? The movies, and plus you had COVID, right? So you had you couldn't go see a movie. You couldn't really, they couldn't market, right? To come out and go to the theater or be big until recent years, in the last 2 years. So you had to do something which music was easier to do as a mass production and to market that a little bit easier for it to then be excited to then stream, whatever you could do. I want to say maybe a little bit before COVID they were going that way, but I mean these last couple
more recently, you know what's even more interesting about this too, now that we're talking about it in my brain, is that people use apps now. Nobody really buys an album. Like you can download an album, but you're not buying like a tangible album to listen to. So you're not really forced to listen to it top to bottom anymore. And so if it's something like this, where the album is not the soundtrack to the movie and it's just a single, they're probably only going to hear the single now in modern times, because that's all. They just have to go find the song. They don't have to find the whole album. Whereas this is kind of like perfect packaging for Carole King to be like, okay, I got this album coming out. They'll be attracted to the album for the single, but they'll listen to the whole thing because they got to buy the DVD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now with the Barbie album coming out a month before, you can listen through on Spotify to the whole album, decide if you like it or not, then watch the movie and be like, I really only like the main song in the movie or whatever, and then only listen to that song. Like there's such a different way of not only marketing, but the way you're going to listen to the movie soundtrack now. You don't even have to listen to the whole thing anymore.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad, because there are on albums that are, let's say, better than the single that they put out, and you would never even know about it because you don't have to listen to it.
I totally agree. Not to sound like a 95-year-old man, but my least favorite thing about technology now.
95-year-old man, because I miss it.
You're right. I always sound like a 95-year-old man.
I am stuck in my ways.
That's my least favorite thing about this sort of like music streaming technology, is that nobody listens to a whole album anymore the way that it's released, even when it first comes out. Like I would say a great example of this recently was the newest Billie Eilish album.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knew the 2 singles. Very good. But I like listening from that album top to bottom, especially because she has the songs cut into each other. Whole other experience.
I mean, take Adele, her latest album, right? She made it so that you would listen to it because it was a journey of her healing. And you wouldn't even know that because her first one, Releasing on Me, was like third or fourth.
The hit. Yeah, the single. Yeah.
And that was it. But you wouldn't listen to the rest of them.
Yeah.
Months. It was like a month or two before the entire album.
Yeah, that is true too. Singles are dropped way earlier than I feel like they used to be. Maybe that's not true and I'm just paying attention more, but I feel like a single would come out on the radio,
Yep.
and the album would come out like the next week. And now it's like the single comes out and the album comes out a year from now. Like,
Yeah, it's getting longer and longer. It's almost like, because I don't know if you knew this, but Whitney Houston,
mhm.
majority of her songs were all singles.
Yeah, which isn't that insane?
I was so shocked when I heard that. I was
Maybe
like,
one of the, if
oh.
not the most famous female artist, I would say she has to be at least top 3 at best.
Yeah.
And not one complete album.
Yeah. I mean, she does have like a couple, but all of her hit songs were not from albums. They were just singles. It's mind-boggling to me.
That's how you know they're good. They're like, I'll drop one and just get out of here.
And that's going to go multi-platinum. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, that's fucking crazy.
And also, not to like keep going on the Whitney Houston thing, but maybe her most famous song is a cover. It's not even an original song. Like, it's a cover of a Dolly Parton song. And Dolly Parton was like, this cover is amazing. Like, she got the stamp of approval from the main creator.
A movie.
Which is attached to a movie. And they asked her, it's crazy that we're talking about this because I just saw something about this, but they asked her if she would sing a song for the film. Kevin Costner asked her. She was going to sing a whole other song that was not this one because she didn't think she could compete with the Dolly Parton version. Yep. And then Dolly Parton was like, no, do it. Like, I think this could be good. And then she put it out and it's more famous than the Dolly Parton version.
Yeah. And Dolly Parton was even like, I'm not touching that again.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I'll never sing it at events anymore or anything. Yeah. Yeah.
It is 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that's oof.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Whitney Houston, man. Well, we could do a whole episode just about her, right? I mean, my God.
Yeah.
All right. Back to our scheduled program. Now and Forever was from the album Color of Your Dreams, which was released in 1993. But the single and the film were released, the film, A League of Their Own was the film, also released in 1993. It was in the summer of 93, and the album was released in January, February of 1993. So within a month of each other.
Yeah.
So we'll play some of Now and Forever here, and everyone get your tissue.
Didn't we share the daylight when you walked into my life? Now and forever, I'll remember all the promises still unbroken, and think about all the words between us that never needed to be spoken.
Forever by Carole King from the film League of Their Own. That one was a little more on the challenging side than the first one. So I feel like we should just go into 3 because now I'm nervous.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Off the cuff, like this song is completely different from the first 2 songs.
Okay.
And my taste in music is very rangeful. Okay.
Same.
We've already established this.
Yeah, we're messed up in the head. We all know this.
And I don't know if I've ever heard this song or seen this movie, but the song is called Always All Right.
Okay.
And it's by Alabama Shakes.
Oh, okay. I know the group for sure.
It's the group, and it's on the more recent years.
Well, yeah, sure. Alabama Shakes. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
then the 90s or older.
Okay. So we have Always and Forever. Wow. I just want to say, searching the song, or Always and Forever. I'm mixing the 2 songs together.
Always All Right.
Yeah. Always All Right. Alabama Shakes. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I know this. It sounds familiar already.
Oh, dude, it's one of my favorite. I'm in a bad mood. I need to get in a good mood. I put this song on and it just,
Yeah, and Alabama Shakes in general. I mean, amazing vocals. How could you not,
Right.
Let's get to some part of the song here.
Yeah, it's a long intro.
Gravy. Okay. 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 Do I know this? I feel like I know this. Ooh. It's like racking my brain a little. Like I hear it in my head. I'm like, But do I know the film? Always All Right, Alabama Shakes. This is not a movie, but I do remember seeing them perform this song when they were the musical guests on SNL once. Amazing. Amazing. I think it's hard for groups to be musical guests on that show just because even though it's been on for 50 years, there's something about the sound of the stage that those musical guests are on that, like, if you're not a really great live performer, it's going to sound even worse on TV. And so they were one of those groups that, like, if they're on the episode, I'm not going to skip through the musical guest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Well, so just let's get the details out of the way here in terms of the song. Okay. Always All Right, Alabama Shakes, released in 2012. So that, if that narrows it down for anyone playing along at home. And 2012, Always All Right. In my head, I feel like it's a movie about dancing or something, but I'm not 100% confident on that.
There is dancing, but there's other stuff into it as well.
Okay. 2012. I'll go for a hint, please, Alex.
Okay. The actress won her first Grammy, or not Grammy. God.
Oh, I was like, whoa. Okay.
No. The actress in the film won her first Oscar.
Oh, is it oh my God, what was the name of this? Is it Silver Linings Playbook, whatever that phrase.
Silver Linings Playbook, yes.
Yeah, I do remember that movie. I remember watching it, having no idea what it was about, and then watching it and being like, what is this? Like the title of the movie doesn't tell you anything about what it's about.
No, not at all. Silver Linings Playbook is like, the title is like, again, sports movie, because I mean, I like sports. But anyways.
We gotta.
So yeah, but it's like off the cuff. I think Bradley Cooper played phenomenal in the movie. I'm a little upset that he got the Oscar for it, but whatever. Jennifer Lawrence did a great job.
We're not holding a grudge or anything, I hear.
We hold a grudge. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't win his first Oscar until way later for The Revenant. What the fuck? Yeah. Anyways, so great movie. A little strange because it's a lot about mental health, and it's a lot about like him kind of navigating the world and then finding his own way without like his past being a huge thing. It's a great movie. It's just it's kind of an oddball.
Yeah, it is an oddball. I do remember really liking it when I saw it, though. When it came out, I remember being like, oh, this is like kind of deep and like very good, especially because this was like not fresh, but this was fairly fresh off of him from Hangover. So it was like we were not prepared for drama, Bradley Cooper, you know?
No, nobody was. Everybody wanted the, gruffy, hot.
Yeah, the Vegas Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah, Bradley. That's yeah.
Okay, so now that we've kind of been talking about like album versus movie release, the movie was released in 2012 as well. It was released in November 16th of 2012. The album itself was released in April of 2015. So very interesting. That's a 3-year gap. Yeah. Which I mean, I don't know. I'd be intrigued to know why, but
to be perfectly honest, it was like the only song that really stood out to me in the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because it's very catchy, right? It's just, anyways. So
I would like you to sing the full version right here, right now. I did say you were a karaoke master in your intro, so we better get the.
No alcohol happening right now. That's not going to happen. You'd have to come live to see that show. All right,
That's right. We'll start selling tickets.
Yeah. The movie itself, I think helped me relate more to the song. And I don't think I realized, right, like I couldn't find the song or realize that the song was there until way later on.
Right.
But I'm glad that I did because I do like them. I didn't they were unknown to me, which I like discovering new artists or groups, bands. So
this is like, if I could sell anybody on paying attention to soundtracks and movies, this is exactly. There are so many bands and artists that I have found when I hear a song in a movie, I'm like, oh, I really like that song, and then I look it up, love the song, look into their other stuff, find more stuff you like. And that's like with any style of movie too, because now, you know, especially television, I would say more recently in the past 5 to 10 years, television has gotten very cinematic, right? Between Apple TV and all these other people making like really good 10 episode seasons of things. Yeah. So their budgets are higher. They get to license more music. And like a lot of these HBO shows will have a song that they have for their credits. That's like it's not the theme song. It's like a song they chose for like the theme of the episode or whatever. I mean, I cannot tell you how many songs I found from like credit scenes of Barry or like, you know, the ending of like some Apple, like the morning show, like whatever, just like any show. And I'm like, ooh, I like that song. Like, I would say I found LCD Sound System that way. They've been around for years, but I heard them in a movie and I was like, ooh, I like this song. Yeah. But I am the biggest proponent of that for sure. I will look up, I would say, here's a perfect example. I'm going to pitch this movie. It's been out for like a month and a half, but there's a movie called Blink Twice. That's Zoe Kravitz's like directorial debut. Yeah,
I've heard about it.
Every song in that movie is a perfect choice. I've been listening to the soundtrack choice, like that playlist of that movie for a month and a half. It's so good. And there's songs on there that I already knew. There's songs on there I didn't know. Like, it's just, she curated that movie in every aspect very well, and the music was so good.
Well, I feel like nowadays movies, like current movies, are not like that, or there's not very many that are like that are curated so perfectly for the emotions or for the scene or whatever's going on in the movie. I mean, if you think back, like our parents have, right, we've already established this. They have a very eclectic round of music. Right. And my parents too. My mom was very Beatles, Herman Hermits, Fallonite music. And my dad is very rock and roll, you know, Pink Floyd and all of them. Right. So you have two different styles. Yeah. But you take the movie.
That's where our weird asses come out.
You take like, think about it. Remember the Titans? If you haven't watched it in a while, go listen to the soundtrack. And it is phenomenal soundtrack. And it's all of the older songs. You take the movie, again, sports, because I like sports, but you take the movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg. Oof. That was a phenomenal track of songs fitting to the scenes. I mean,
it is true.
There's got to be a lot more than what we can even think of. But those, and it's like, I don't know, it's like the emotion in the scene, I relate a lot more, and I find I like those songs more now because of the emotions that were shown at the scene of the movie. Yeah,
I would say if anyone really wants to like nerd out and do a deep dive, I would say a great person who does this, a great director. He's kind of like, he's more than a director, but Joe Swanberg, he's one of these directors who kind of started in the sort of indie scene. And when I say indie, I don't mean like A24 big budget and just like a weird movie. I mean like a truly like we're working with like maybe $100,000 kind of movie. And so he will direct it, he will write it, he will edit it. And now he's also like his own music, he's his own sound mixer. So he chooses the music that goes into his movie and edits it the way he wants it in the film. And my introduction to him was post him being in the indie scene. Netflix kind of gave him a deal and was like, we'll give you all this money. You can hire as many people as you want to do their jobs. And he was like, I kind of want to just do all the jobs still anyway, even though you're giving me all this money to hire people. And so he did this movie with Netflix called Win It All. And it's like a bigger budget, but he just kept doing the work anyway. And that's another one that's like the soundtrack, every song. And it takes place in Chicago. It's like a very simple one character, like 5-act structure, not a big deal. Not a lot of crazy shit goes on. But every song is very like Midwest Chicago blues kind of vibe or like whatever. It was just perfectly, because he was involved in everything that creates the main vision. So it just worked so well.
That's great. I love those.
Yeah, he's a good guy to look into that. If you're trying to like find music in a movie, he's a good guy to start with.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, again, that was Always All Right by the Alabama Shakes from Silver Linings Playbook, and we will play that here.
Stay a little while and do a little walk on home. I hear you downstairs smoking cigarettes. I hear you talking shit cause you ain't got nothing to talk about at all. So you took me to the party, you got me alone. You said you wanna feel good and you feel like you're gonna explode. Well, I don't care, can't pay attention, and I don't give a damn about your attentions at all.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Teenage years. Mind you, my teenage years.
Okay.
Huge movie.
Okay.
It's like a teeny bopper movie. Anyways,
Okay.
this is not by the original artist. I used to know who the original artist was, but I cannot think of it right now. But the song is called "Cruel to Be Kind" by.
Oh, yeah. We know this song. Do I know who the original person is though?
Very famous, and it's very famous guy.
Yeah. Cruel to Be Kind. Who's the one that's in the movie version, I guess? Let's start there.
That is Letters to Cleo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, performed by Letters to Cleo.
Okay.
I wrote it down. For you.
So let's see. Original. Okay, so original is Nick Lowe. That's the original artist. If that helps anyone. I don't know who it would, but
Goom, and Nick. Yeah, Lowe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing the Letters to Cleo version though. This is what's gonna make or break the movie guess.
Yes.
Okay. So Cruel to Be oh my God, I can't say words. Cruel to Be Kind by Letters to Cleo. Let's see. So this version was released. Please hold because we looked up the older version. Okay. This version was released in 1999.
Oh.
Teeny bopper song, 1999. Ooh. I definitely know this song, so we don't need to play a sample. I definitely know this one. But do I know the movie it's from?
Like my younger years of teenage.
Years. 1999 teen movie.
Yeah.
That makes me assume it's going to be like a rom-com then, if it's like a teen movie. Yeah, okay.
They were big. They were big in the 90s, early 2000s.
Peak time. We had Julia Roberts and Meg Ryan. What else could you ask for?
Oh boy.
Okay, Cruel to Be Kind, 1989. What came out in the 90s that was a teen movie? There was that Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet, but that can't be right. That was way too dramatic for that.
Yeah. That was before this movie. This one's a little bit newer to that.
Oh, okay. Okay. What other 90s rom-com? Oh, Who? It was definitely not in Clueless. I don't remember that being in Clueless at all.
No, not Clueless.
But I feel like I'm in the right area. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Cruel to
I
Be
think
Kind.
a little newer.
A
than
little newer than Clueless. So we're talking like the latest of 90s then.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially what I need to do is think of a rom-com that I thought was early 2000s, but was probably like 1999.
Yes. You need a hint.
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Okay.
You got nervous. Like, how am I going to give it away?
What am I gonna say? This is an easy hint. Heath Ledger's first big movie.
Oh, of course. 10 Things I Hate About You. How could I have forgotten? You know what? I was right, though. I thought that was early 2000s, and it was probably 1999, right? Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense.
So. I don't know though.
Well, let's see. Well, here's the thing, though. Letters to Cleo should have been an indication for me because that movie had a bunch of like punk and ska in it, and that was like the whole point of that. Was that it was like the cool like 90s punk scene kind of shit. So that makes sense.
Came out, yep. Yes.
Okay, so Cruel to Be Kind came out in 1999.
1999 was the year the movie came out.
So again, we're talking back-to-back single and movie release. The interesting thing with this movie is I feel like I remember there being a lot of covers. Like there was that cover of I Want You to Want Me.
That's by the same group.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I think it's on by the same group.
Well,
but
let's
yeah,
see.
the entire soundtrack, like the girl band that she's like in love with.
Oh, sure.
They're the ones that covered almost all of the songs.
Yes. It's coming back to me now.
And I had when I watched it, I were like, this is a great song. And then the parents are like,
you should have heard the original. Yeah.
You should listen to the original ones. Yeah.
You want to talk about a song that will, or a movie that will like mess you up with covers? This is not like the most popular movie, but I'm sure everyone in our family's probably seen it. But it's called So I Married an Axe Murderer. It's a Mike Myers movie. And the only song that is in that movie is There She Goes, which the La-Las performed. But every time it plays, it's a different version. It's never the same one. So there's like 8 different covers of that song in that movie. And so a great movie and also great covers. It's very 90s Bay Area. Like that song's perfect for that. But every time it would come on when I was a kid, if I was watching it, every time a new cover would come on, I'd be like, who's the main one? Who's the one I give credit for? Because the rest of these are great, but who's the main one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I feel like the 90s or late 90s was huge in covering older music.
Yeah. And it was all in that same like genre of that sort of like not emo, but not punk, but not ska, but like a little kind of everything.
Yeah. Because punk was starting to get a groove going around that time frame.
Yeah,
and then it became a lot bigger in like 2002, 2003, kind of.
Yeah, that ska stuff started coming in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which we did have an episode. Paige, she brought a lot of ska music, so we've really just been tying up some loose ends here.
It's full circle here. We're bringing it all in.
You came with the research, you were like, I listen to all these. I'm gonna bring these.
Well, I'm gonna bring it. I did all of my research. I listened to all of them.
Okay, so again, just to remind everyone, because we went on this whole tangent, the song was Cruel to Be Kind. The version that we're referencing to is from Letters to Cleo. It was from the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, both released in 1999. So we're gonna play a little bit of that. And then to be nice, you say you gotta be cruel to be kind in the right measure. Cruel to be kind, it's a very good sign. Cruel to be kind means that I love you, baby. You gotta be cruel to be kind. Okay, so that was it. That was the whole list. We did all 3 songs and a bonus track and the movies. This is quite a full package deal of an episode.
I don't know if you would say, but it's a pretty good episode.
I don't want to be biased or anything. But
Me? No.
we're not related. There's no connection here that would make me feel like I have to say this is the best episode. Better than my own brother's episode. Yeah.
How dare you say that that's the reason why?
I'm not saying the reason why. I'm implying that's the reason.
That's the same fucking thing. All right.
This was great. What a good episode. This was a great choice. I knew it was gonna be good too. I knew when you were like, I need time to pick, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
It took me like 3 months
I know. When we first tried to set up the first time we tried to record, and you were like, I've been trying to pick these songs for months, and I was like, oh, she took this legit serious. Like,
it's music. How could I not?
Yeah, this is life or death. I want to thank my guest, Lysana, for stopping by. You can find her and I in a corner talking drama at the family party while Hotel California plays in the distance, as it seems to always at a family party. It's always on the queue.
I love the Eagles. Yeah.
You know, the best 15-minute Eagle song.
Has to be.
Thank you so much. This was great. I hope everyone enjoyed this because we got on so many tangents and nerded out, but I'm sure there's an audience somewhere for this.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Enjoy this was great. Thank you.
You're